Hello, Dr. Vikki Petersen here. A reader wrote in today about her son. He's about to go to college. He occasionally gets into some gluten by accident, and he tends to have digestive complaints like diarrhea, bloating, and gas. And she was wondering if there was something that he could take over the counter to kind of quell the inflammation that occurs when this accidental ingestion happens. And there's not something in particular that I recommend that's over the counter that works. I wish there was something, and certainly researchers are working quite diligently in creating an enzyme to do just that, that if unwitting ingestion occurs of gluten, or if you're a little suspicious about it, there's an enzyme that researchers are working on to help break down that gluten more efficiently so the inflammatory reaction would be less. But we're not there yet. So in today's world, what can you do? Drink a lot of water, get adequate rest, take probiotics that might help with the inflammation some. The amino acid glutamine, when it's in a powdered form, you can take that in water. That will help a bit. And if the diarrhea is moderate to mild, then certainly just staying hydrated and weathering the storm is probably the best advice. If it gets very, very severe and you do feel you're getting dehydrated, then a little over-the-counter product like Imodium might be in order. But for the most part, I try to reserve that for someone who has a very, very severe case of diarrhea and truly feels that they're getting dehydrated. The second part of her question had to do with him going off to college and wondering how he was going to stay on his diet in a dormitory type setting. And he's also an athlete, and she was wondering how best to deal with his nutritional needs being on an athletic team. So interestingly, I have the same situation personally in that I have a son who's an elite athlete and is going to college and is gluten sensitive. So I come by this knowledge not only professionally but personally. And when he was a freshman, I actually went with him when he was first starting, and went to see the chef of the school, and very accommodating. I find chefs on the whole to be very nurturing people. If they're cooking for a crowd, there's a reason they became chefs, and it's because they wish to nourish the people that they are cooking for. And this chef was very, very gracious and really sat down with my son and let him know the things that were classically gluten-free, the things he had to worry about. What he counseled him to do was when he got in the lunch line to actually kind of have somebody save his position and run up to the front and kind of say, "I'm here." And as he was then getting through the line, they could whip up some sauces and various things for him that were gluten-free. So they were extremely accommodating. And I'm sure different schools are different, but with the awareness of gluten increasing, it would be unusual for a chef to not know of the problem and not have some idea of how to work with it. So hopefully that helps. The don't be shy kind of mentality is always good for those of us who are gluten sensitive or have any dietary restrictions. And then finding things that you can have in the dorm room for snacks if the meal is not to your liking or really was not able to accommodate gluten-free, that you have some things that are available that you can snack on and not feel that you're not getting nourished properly. And a lot of foods are definitely able to do that. I just learned of a new website, and they are in their final stages of putting it together, but it's called storehousefoods.com, and I'm very excited. They initially put their site together for emergency type foods, so earthquakes and other types of disasters, so that people with celiac would have things kind of dry type foods where they could just kind of add water, stir, and be accommodated for their diet, which was wonderful. But they have since really improved and broadened their line for the camper, for the person who comes home late and is hungry and doesn't want to cook. So Storehouse Foods, I'm very excited about their site, and they're working very hard and to provide just that sort of thing, where a college student could have that in his or her room and microwave it or something like that, and be provided with a nice gluten-free meal. So I hope hope those ideas help, and until next time, I wish you very good health.